What's up guys? So today is hopefully gonna be funny because it is about 13 American accents ranked from easiest to hardest to understand. And I am not a native speaker, as you can probably tell by my accent. I hope it's not too strong, but I still think I have a slight bit of a German accent right here. So I'm curious how they are, and maybe I can try to emulate some of them. Recreate? You know what I'm talking about.
Which is the easiest American accent to understand, and which
California
is the hardest?
Well, how y'all doing? I'm about to learn you something real quick.
Well, I chose 13 accents from all across the US and I ranked them from easiest to hardest.
Let me get you my best American accent right here. It always sounds like very pretending and very bad. My American wife makes fun of me when I try to speak like an American, and enough of that.
Who am I to do such a thing? Well, my name is Ollie Richards.
So
I speak
sorry.
8 languages. I've written dozens of language learning books. But I'm fascinated by accents, especially English accents from across the pond. So let's see how many of these you can recognize.
Can't be as bad as...
Your time now, 3:42. This just in. Me. I send things over to my colleague here, Robert Burton. You know, Robert, it was such a wild day at work. How did things go over on your end?
No, this is not.
I think that's California. That's very clear, almost no accent to me. But I don't know if it's California. Something on the West Coast, I think.
A trick, but don't try this at home. Listen, you might think you've got a handle on the American way of talking, but trust me, it's a far more complex beast than you might imagine. Now, the easiest accent is so common, it's practically invisible.
This is what people think of most when they think of the American accent. This is when you're going and you're watching movies and you're hearing an American.
Exactly,
this
like
is what you're usually
all the
hearing.
show.
Easy to follow, easy to imitate, and as American as apple pie. Think Jennifer Aniston.
I will see if the thing that I think that I know is actually the thing that I think that I know.
The voice of any news anchor or your average Joe.
Now, not only if we all began to wear suspenders would we increase the net masculinity
Sounds a
of
bit
the
stronger
American
there.
public, and you're just sick and tired of always looking like a plumber when you bend over to get your work done.
Of course, it's no accident they are speaking like that on purpose so that you will all understand them. It's what's called the general American accent, the gold standard for clarity. If you come from
I didn't know there was a general American accent, and that is like, I don't know, I always say friends taught me English because I watched the show on DVD, you know, like back and forth, more so than school did. I always thought Americans all speak like that, and then I went and yeah, there's definitely some variations.
places like the Midwest or Northern California, well, congratulations, you're probably rocking this accent without even trying. Now, things can only heat up from here, so as we go along, I want you to keep
Northern
your
California.
eyes and ears open. There is one accent on this list that non-Americans voted as the hardest one of all to understand. Which one do you think it is? See if you can guess before we get to it. And no.
The worst accent I have heard in America was in Georgia, but I've also been only to the East Coast. In Georgia, I met a guy with the strongest accent ever, didn't understand a word. So my guess is Georgia.
Cheating.
So we're gonna go back to the house and maybe chill for a minute or two. Then we're gonna meet up with our pals, eat some supper. Sounds like a plan, dude.
You don't
That surfer dude accent, that's not a
get this
state,
accent
right?
off the bat, then you've probably never watched American TV. It is the accent of sun-kissed beaches, tech giants, and avocado toast. And Hollywood loves it. There's no shortage of characters mimicking this accent. Hard to understand? I wouldn't say so,
No.
but a lot of other foreigners get confused.
Just say
It's
what
funny.
you normally say, but just do it like in a slower, chiller way. You
Yeah,
know what
bro.
I mean?
Right, okay, I see it now. Nothing like a little bit of vocal fry to warm you up. Heavy on the vowels, got a bit of a drawl, and everything's a question.
The words are stuck in the back of my throat. I have like a vocal fry, but I don't know, like it went away. People were like, you know, it's not that big of a deal.
If you said
I have to admit, I hate that. I hate the vocal fry. It's like this Cali girl thing, you know? I can't even do it, and it sounds so arrogant. It sounds so self-loving to me. It's like, I speak just for me because I'm so cool, so awesome. It's so strong in some people. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling like that, and I don't know why I have the impression that it feels like that, but that's just how it is, man.
Southern California, you are right on the money.
Yeah.
But by the way, as you can tell,
Yeah.
I don't have a particularly
Why you
American
talk like
accent.
that?
Not at all, actually. We've covered the smooth talkers, but now we're heading into trickier territory. Ears at the ready.
I growed up talking like this. I just kind of had to learn how to church it up a little bit.
Something
to
Southern, man.
Get a job. But it's always been here. Frankly, I'm a little bit more comfortable talking like this, so this is what I typically default back.
It is friendly, it is popular, everyone in the whole world knows it, and despite the drawl, it's surprisingly easy to understand, because as you
Yeah.
can hear, nobody's in a huge hurry.
And our accent is known for really drawing out its words.
Oh my
Someone
God.
like Matthew McConaughey is a perfect example of this.
All
You
right,
heard that,
all
lady,
right,
but I've
all
got to warn
right.
you, this accent's got more accents than a rattlesnake's got rattles. So even if you can guess which state it's from, you'll have a hard time nailing down the exact region. For one thing, there's all the Spanish loanwords.
I don't give up easy. You know, in Spanish they call it terco, which means hard-headed. It might take me a while to accomplish what I want to accomplish, but I set a goal and I'm going to try to achieve it.
With all that history and all those horses, what are you going to get?
Texas, I don't know. If it's Spanish heavily influenced, it has to be. I mean, it's southern. I don't think in Florida they speak like that, but you know, the Carolinas, Georgia maybe, and then Texas, they definitely have that, right?
A bunch of westerns, for one.
I say, let's us put our bread in some of that gravy while it is still hot.
See if you can tell me where this guy is from. It's one of the oldest and most distinct accents of the whole state.
Well, didn't find nothing first 30 minutes. That's a telltale sign I don't need to be
Montana,
out
maybe?
here.
It is the sound of
Montana,
the
Jordan?
piney woods, and we are obviously talking about the Texan accent. And in case you're wondering why I've got Texas in the easy bucket, well, it's only because we're so familiar with the accent from movies, and this is what it makes it somewhat easier to understand. Any Texans out there? Listen up, how good are you at knowing who's who in your state?
Coffee! I got coffee here! Coffee! I got coffee! Does anybody want coffee?
Frank, I'll take a cup.
There's no
What are you trying to
coffee
be
in your
funny, Karen?
can,
You're not
mate.
funny. You're really living up to your name.
Welcome to an iconic accent. It's fast, it's loud, it's
What
often
thing?
very nasally, and it can often sound urgent or assertive. In other words, the accent is anything but laid back.
Have a nice sandwich with me, okay? We'll make a nice sandwich, veal sandwich.
Well, that's just a dead giveaway. It was influenced by Italians, and a bit of news here. My list
We're just watching the Rocky series, and I think they all speak like that. It's the Italian immigration, right? And often like New York, Philadelphia, the Northeast somewhere.
This is my list, and I'm including American opinions, but this accent came up in that survey I mentioned earlier, remember? Which accent do non-Americans think is hardest? This wasn't the winner, but it's in the top 5. The thing is, even Americans traveling abroad with this accent often say that nobody understands them, so it's not as easy for us foreigners as you might think.
I remember I lived on East 81st Street, across the street from my grandparents, which was really nice as a kid growing up.
What a great accent. Where's she from? Which part? Well, these city folks always use a heck of a lot of idiomatic expressions, all their own, and the regional identity
the city folks
is very, very strong. Last clue.
Quick question. Is there a supermarket or deli where I can get cold cuts around here?
We're all
New
hungry,
York.
hon. Let's settle in and we'll figure it out. I have no mascara on. Valentina, don't worry about the remote right now.
She sounds like Carrie in King of Queens. So right from Queens is my guess.
We didn't travel 800 miles to watch Cake Boss.
Go on, pause the video and put your best guess in the comments. Here it comes. Bonus points if you got Brooklyn and Staten Island. It's the iconic sounds of New York City.
Not
Whoever missed
Queens,
this one,
but very
confession
close.
time.
7:45, he wakes up, he goes down to church, St. John Chrysostom. Then he comes home, he puts on his black and gold, heads on down to Heinz Field, meets up with my cousin Natalie Carapinas. They hang out there, have a couple kielbasa's, have a couple irons. Wow! Right? That was in English.
These guys might as well have their own dictionary. I'm not joking, I threw this one in because when you mix all the local words in with the accent, it gets a little bit confusing, at least I think so. And they really seem to have fun with it. Examples? Well, first of all, forget you all or you guys. Here, it's all about yins. It's a staple of the local lingo.
Yeah, I'm going downtown here. I got my eye rock off of blocks, you know. I live up in Washington County. You're going to get down and check out the game this Sunday. They're real good this year.
Dude, that sounds like in Australian, but also not, you know. But I don't know what that is. Yins I never heard. I can't pinpoint this one.
Fast, and there's a lot of squishing words together. You're not
Yeah,
used to the
if they use the different
pace, you'll
words,
probably
it's
be asking
hard.
them to slow down a little bit. One more clue.
Hey, you best watch that bush. It's full of jaggers. Hey, it's been raining all night. Be careful on them steps. They're slippy out there. Yeah, I'm just letting that work right now. Meet me downtown. We'll talk about it.
Right, place your bets now. We are talking about the funny, quirky accent of, here it comes, Pittsburgh. Did you get it? I knew it. You guys are good.
No
I got a
idea,
pig at home
man.
and a pen, corn to feed him on. All I need is a pretty little girl to feed him when I'm gone.
Love it or hate it, this accent is very, very popular. It's as charming as it
Frightening.
gets. Nobody's going to argue with that.
3 kids later, I'm over here doing daddy stuff. Like my buddy called me the other day and said, hey man, bike night's coming up. You gonna be there? I said, oh, when? And he said, Friday night, 6 p.m. I was like, oh. Man, my oldest, he got a bounce house party.
Sounds like he should be a voiceover actor, you know. It's like he's dubbed or something. That's pretty good, though.
I gotta go to that one.
Why on earth is it number 5 though? Well, that
Something
drawl might
south,
be so
man.
smooth, so cool to our ears, But easy to understand? I don't know about that.
Guys, quick interruption here. If you are fascinated by the United States and all these American topics like I am, then maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I am a small channel. I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to learn about the United States, and I find it very interesting. And if you do too, then please click that button. But now back to the video.
By God, living, breathing Yelp review coming in here pitching a fit before he's even had a bite to eat yet. I swear to Conway Twitty, you make me...
Ricky Bobby, bacon shake. Was that what they said?
When you're hotter than grease, say yes to peace. When you're hotter
Buddy,
than
where
grease,
are you from?
North Kakalaki.
North what? Listen, you guys occupy a huge area of the US and you have so many accents that some are borderline dialects. So
North
easy
Carolina?
or hard definitely depends on which neck of the woods you are in.
It's currently 78 degrees. I'm bound to contract malaria, get snake bit, and my feeder might even start making popcorn.
I don't know, man. Is that really unironic speaking? I can't believe it, man. I don't know.
Didn't say nothing. She brought me a whole thing. I don't eat much that stuff. I eat a little bit of supper.
What?
Then I go bad because I don't eat.
With all the sub-dialect.
This just went on my backlist. That's what I want to be when I'm old. I need to hear the guy again.
She didn't say nothing. She brought me a whole thing. I don't eat much that stuff. I eat a little bit of supper. Then I go bad because I don't eat.
With all the sub-dialects hiding in the valley, things can get pretty crazy.
My best friend got this man, and for the life of me, I cannot find any like in my heart for this man. I ain't got no like in my soul for this man, but the hatred I got for this man, y'all, is strong.
Try losing your friend in the woods and you'll know all about it.
I knew I shouldn't have took my monkey tail out here with you doggone white folk. Done left me in the damn woods. Hurry up.
What is going on, man?
Rage. It is, of course, a southern accent. What's next?
A southern
That's
accent,
true.
okay.
Thought I see my friend Wyatt. I was walking up the road. John Deere DT 170 was out in the front yard. He was welling something. Saw his dad's welder's mask. He had it on. I went over to him. He was like, "You want to see something?" I was like, Of course I do. I wouldn't mind.
Anyone not know where this is? Well, people like me have to go scrolling through Netflix to get a clue. Now, some people say this accent is much more rugged than others from the region. I read this on good old Quora, but I couldn't tell the difference between that accent and the next one if my life depended on it.
Got 3 lawnmowers, 4 four-wheelers.
Whoa, buddy, way to cut us off.
Massachusetts. 6 dirt bikes, couple boats, you know.
Now, let's say, for instance, you're hanging a picture on the wall, and it just
I noticed that
to
before.
move
People
just
saying picture, a picture. Let me take a picture of you. Can you take a picture for me?
a bit. You would say it needs to move just a dite. Just over, just a dite. Not that much. Just move it over, just a dite.
And then there's this other place that does strange things like adding R's in weird places. We're headed to the beach for some coffee, milk, and grinders.
Well, you know the Providence Place Mall is the largest cooperative mall in New England. Pretty cool. What do you think? If we go to Providence, go downtown, it's only like 20 minutes away.
What do you say? Better write down your guesses quick.
I have no idea where that's from,
for the
man.
price of one here. It is country versus big city. If you guessed Vermont, Maine, and Rhode Island, you got them. But did you get the order right? There was a survey about this. Yep, here comes the survey. And as it turns out, when Americans are traveling overseas, us foreigners understand you least if you're from Rhode Island, followed by Maine. Stephen King will be proud.
Interesting.
Okay, you can stop holding your breath.
I would have expected one of the southern ones to be harder to understand, but all right.
For the big city accent, here it comes.
On your right now is going to be another Dunkin' Donuts, okay? You know, straight up like over the hill. Across the street used to be another Dunkin' Donuts / like Baskin Robbins combo. You know what I'm talking about, all those deals. It's gone now. Anyways, on your left is a Stop and Shop. That's where my dad likes to go. My mom.
Well, according to his beanie, I would assume this might be Boston. Not sure.
Mom likes Roach Brothers, but she says it's too
But it's also pretty clear it's not the worst one. Like, this is pretty okay.
expensive. Anyways, that's where my dad goes. Stop and Shop. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in that Stop and Shop. You're gonna go straight through to the Rotary.
Tell me about your accent.
I've been parking cars.
Okay.
You know, a lot of walking around. My dogs are barking. Dogs are barking. You know?
Have you been to the Charles River?
I've been to the Charles River. I saw Marky Mark there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Boston.
Marky Mark, park the car.
Boston, baby.
Yeah.
Wicked cool town, I hear.
I think that's a
Dave
good
on the
one. I love
storyline
it.
team has run the Boston Marathon. Very proud of him. That's right. And if you know your geography, we are in New England. It sounds like they're rebelling against the rules of American.
Oh, hey there, friend. You want to come over to the beer backyard and have a little cocktail?
To the backyard and have a little cocktail? Yuck.
Are you kidding? It's 33 degrees and raining.
I know, it's like spring break, eh?
No, it's freezing right now.
No, it's not.
Hey, I haven't seen you since last summer on the lake. How goes it?
If you want a pop culture phenomenon, here we go. Prepare to laugh. While you're at it, see if you can pick up some fun regional differences. So, these guys are known for their good manners, strong family ties, Scandinavian blood, and a sing-song sound, as any soccer mum will tell you.
I was driving down the road the other day, and I was in my van, and this dang deer just jumped out in front of my van.
Is this Taylor Swift? Is this how she talks? I don't think I never heard her speak. You know, just sing maybe. But is it really what she sounds like? This is crazy. I would assume this has to be northern somewhere. It sounds almost Canadian with an A.
I didn't even know what was going on.
I never thought I'd put Taylor Swift in my videos, but she deserves this one. How about that accent though? Not so hard to copy, right? Don't be fooled. Try this on for size.
So where are you going to Christmas? Well, first we're going to get the family together. We're going to go to Famous Dave's Barbecue, you know, around Calhoun Square.
Oh, haven't you been to Hibbon? Because Hibbon's so nice, especially around this time of year. Or you go to Findlay, or maybe you go to Grand Marais.
You know, I have. Actually, we were going to go to Hinckley. Have you ever seen the museum there? Apparently, the whole city caught fire when...
It sounds slightly Irish to me. It's crazy.
The 494 Mall America.
Tell me what she said, verbatim, I dare you. And the accent is from?
494 Mall America.
Tell me.
Apparently, the whole city caught fire when... The 494 Mall America.
What's something for America? I can't.
There, apparently, the whole city caught fire when... The 494 Mall America.
Tell me what she said, verbatim, I dare you. And the accent is from? Well, it's from Minnesota, also known as the North Star State. Nice one. Did you know they have the oldest rocks on Earth here? True stories.
Travel around the country, which I did mostly by illegally riding freight trains. Which some people might have a problem with, but whatever. It worked great for me. I mean, it's habitat for wildlife, if anything. For me, it just makes me feel nice when I've been outside dealing with most of the human infrastructure that I normally find so revolting. This just calms me down a little bit.
No doubt about it. He's from Chicago.
I didn't know
wonderful
that.
accent in
It
the
was
Great
not that
Lakes
strong.
region. We're past halfway, and I had a hard time choosing which accents to include because there are a few really divergent ones out there.
As I'm stringing up my fourth bass, a woman catches me. She tells me to stop. It's her father's business. I tell her no. She starts casting with me. We spend a whole night packing pasties on the fishing reel counter.
Well, this sounds a little bit out of the ordinary, doesn't it? Well, does it? Well, I'm not tricking you. The people who speak like this actually have very different historical backgrounds to other Americans.
The hard part is shoveling the roof off all the time, you know. Last year I fell off of it, and, you know, with the snow there, it's a cushion, you know, and you fall in it and it buries
That's different,
you,
right?
and,
Has to be
and
somewhere
you just lay there
north,
and laugh, you
cold.
know.
I just wanted to come on here and check on my friends down in Texas. Are you guys okay? Got some snow down there. I need some help? Need advice? Tips?
Okay, I know what you're thinking. I already showed you the snow and the snowy accents. Yeah, calm down. This one's not even in the same state, guys.
Last year we still had 45 inches in the month of April. And so it's the late spring and the length of the season that wears on you, not the amount of snow.
Calumet resident, I don't know where that is.
Including a heavy dose of Finnish, French Canadian, Scandinavian, Cornish, German and Native American. Throw them in a pot of snow, and what do you get? A lot of fun sounds that you only hear in this region. It is the Yooper accent, courtesy of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I'm going to give you a hint about the hardest American accent.
The Yooper accent. Never heard of that, man.
So you can start warming up for the big boys. Ready? It's sitting free and happy in the sun in the most linguistically diverse state in all of the US. But will you get it? I don't think so.
You gotta watch with the mindset and the girl, you wanna learn this accent. You gotta be real intentional. That means that when you watch a video, you gotta try to pause that video. For example, I watch a lot of Taraji P. Henson movie in that ceremony where she was like, oh, Robert, if you will cut at that door, there is no coming back. Bro, you gotta pause that scene and try.
This is one with deep cultural roots, and not actually a regional accent, but a cultural one. Very significant influence on American pop culture too. But
I think that's true. The pop culture, that sounds not so unfamiliar to me. It's a stronger accent, and some of the earlier ones I haven't really heard, but this one sounds like you hear it more.
others
right?
sound like it's all in code.
Yes, right there, right here, everywhere. Swear, downstairs, upstairs, come do my hair. Yes, we talk like that.
Where is her accent from? Get the name of the city, just try.
That's cool, nigga. I gotta earn at the crib. You can earn your
I don't know.
What?
New
You know what I'm
Orleans.
saying? You can earn your clothes. I gotta earn the crib. You can earn your clothes. But they my clothes already. What I gotta earn them for?
No, you could. I'm not finna work hard for no clothes that's mine already, is all I'm saying. What are you saying?
Remember, we're talking about cultural accents, and this is all over the States. It's called African American vernacular English. One interesting thing about the pronunciation is, back in history, most immigrants from Africa didn't have the sound in their native languages, so when they were learning English, words like that became that. Interesting, right? We need to level up to...
Hey, remember school, the TH is one of the hardest things you have to do, especially as a German. I think one dead-ass giveaway of the Germans is the TH, you know, if it's really hard to say it. So whenever you hear somebody, the strong S's and the THs is very hard. And dude, everybody in school struggles with that, and it's just so funny and very nice to hear that other people struggle with that too, you know?
Baffling?
I'm talking about, I hit the corner store the other day, you understand me? I had to get some blunts, you feel me? I'm finna get high. I slide back to the crib, then a little hoe called me. She talking about, I'm trying to slide through. I said, you trying to give me that air, man, you feel me?
I did not catch a word of that. Now, where are we exactly? Well, the city names are coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Louisiana.
These two are from St. Louis, Missouri, and the last guy is from Florida. How many did you get right? Florida, you win this round, hands down. But then one day you get lost and go wandering into the foothills.
We got water in the man trip we was riding. We was in the back of it.
Now we're getting somewhere where the Georgian guy was speaking to us, dude. I think this has to be
12 breaks of water, backed up. And it just blowed that coal out just like a explosion, you know.
Yeah, I used to go to Indiana. First, I went up there with my exes.
Soft white underbelly.
With his grandma. Okay. A bunch of her friends come over. I was sitting there saying something to him. Well, they started laughing.
We're getting into territory that the hardest southern stuff I picture. It has to be southern, right? And I don't know, could be anywhere. Could be Georgia, could be Alabama, Kansas, I don't know what else is there down there. Mississippi, maybe. I think they have a strong accent.
And then they come over and start.
There's also, how do I say this politically correct? This doesn't seem like the most academic, highly developed area.
Tell me, oh, say this, and every time I'd say it, they start laughing.
Don't you just love the rhythm flowing from their mouths? I've got to say, I find this accent absolutely fascinating. I could listen to it all
Fascinating,
day long.
yeah.
I've caught him out of many of a time. It'd take us a long time to get into town in that old buggy. He'd tell me to work the brake.
Dude.
We start to go up a hill, I'd kind of push the brake on. He'd tell that old mule, say, get up there, get. Me scooting the wheel, but he'd
well, I got to take the car to the town, man. Push the brake over here, man. I don't know. I'm very bad at doing these actions. That was so bad. Sorry.
You know, Tom, he said, turn the brakes loose. He'd take 3 ears of corn to feed it at lunch. He'd start back home about 4 o'clock.
So
There's
awesome.
a lot to unpack in these accents. When some people hit that Smoky Mountain twang, you're going to need subtitles.
You know, we didn't have no electricity, didn't have no electric water. Running water either. We run it out of the spring. But they eventually got electricity up through here.
It is
There's got electricity up there. Damn, man, I need to check out this this channel, Soft White Underbelly. I don't know what he said, man. Let me see.
Smoky Mountain twang. You're going to need subtitles.
You know, we didn't have no electricity, didn't have no electric water. Running water either. We run it out of the spring. But they eventually got electricity up through here.
It is, of course, deep.
He talks about something they had to run out somewhere, like a spring or something, then they got electricity. I don't know, man. That's hard.
Appalachia. I get pulled up on my pronunciation of this all the time in the comments. It's an area that's always had limited access because of the mountains and valleys. So I guess if you live here, well,
the
you're going to be
mountain
well-versed
people
in mountain talk.
What's going on, son? What's happening? What's happening? Dynamite here, baby. Where's my crazy bird? Where's my crazy bird? Hey, baby. Whoa, baby.
And just to be clear, this is not about stereotypes. Millions of voices
I
out
love
here.
it.
Home to me is just basically wherever family's at, no matter, like, if you've grown up with them for a long time or just gotten to know them, family's family.
I'm starting to think this court ain't too supreme at all, y'all. I don't see any sour cream, any tomatoes on this court. This ain't even a regular court. I would call it a value menu court, but value menus actually help people who struggle, so I don't know.
If you've never thought about where your own speech habits come from, you should find out. It's really interesting. And when you really want to let the good times roll, better head on down to the land of the next accent.
We say shy, and that's a term of endearment. And you say that when you, or say you look at a baby or a little puppy, something small and cute. You say, oh, shy baby, a marigouin. We have a lot of marigones here. Marigoine is a mosquito.
What?
I can go outside right now and get tore up by the marigones.
Beautiful.
A marigoine, a shot baby.
This one is super hard to understand because it has so many curious little bits that are completely different from what you hear in the rest of the US, but very, very cool. The rhythm, the expressions. But wait. What is going on? Well, the most characteristic feature of the accent is that there is no the sound. And they say things like, laissez les bons tons rouler.
It's French. So what is it? Somewhere close to the Canadian border, the French-speaking area? Laissez les bons tons rouler. C'est français.
Because what?
Quand j'étais petit, j'ai fait mon idée. Un jour, quand je suis grand, j'aurai un farm. J'aurai des vaches et des moutons et tout ça.
Yeah, it's a kind of English that's full of French, but not only French, also Spanish, British English, and there's even a layer from various African languages. That's not how you say it in the regular French, by the way. And who speaks like this? Well, it's the Cajuns, of course. The Cajun people have French-Canadian descent.
Cajun spices.
And they speak their own French Creole language, or Cajun French.
Ton beau m'a dit que t'avais la tête dure. Your boyfriend told me you had a hard head.
Where's that?
Put them together and what do you get? Well, you get a Cajun English accent. You'll mostly hear this cool accent down in rural southern Louisiana.
Wildlife and fishery agents Fontenot and Thibodeau showed up at Miss Boudreaux's house. Miss Boudreaux was so upset and crying. Mr. Boudreaux ain't come back from fishing. So Fontenot and Thibodeau, the wildlife fishery agent, said, we're going to find her, Miss Boudreaux. Don't worry, we're going to find her.
Quite distinctive, huh? Unless you're one of them, good luck understanding anything. Think they deserve to win this battle of the accents? Well, almost, but not quite. The winner of most difficult American accents of all is, drumroll please.
If I go to Beaufort and I talk to somebody and order something in the thing, they ask me two or three times, what is it? What do you want? I want.
We had a tea to go to for the president. I wanted to iron the dress to get the crease out of it where it had been taped up.
What's to get the crease out of it?
Every sweet in that norm.
This sounds very southern, and I think this is easier to understand than the Cajun one, the French stuff he just had before. It's just very strong, right?
If you are a dingbatter, we'll forgive you for thinking a piece of Ollie's backyard drifted out to sea and ended up here.
Come on,
it's got
Georgia.
some real Britishy vowel sounds. Listen.
Wind's blowing really hard. You said it's blowing harder than a pop card right there, you know. So you take it right around the island. You just take a little scud.
Isn't this amazing? It's an accent that came from pirates, sailors, Africans, and Native Americans who were isolated here a very, very long time ago. The biggest thing that stands out is a totally one-of-a-kind vowel pronunciation. Archaic words preserved from Old English. Just to...
Momocked. I'm so momocked right now. I don't even know which country, which state this is from.
Yes, with our modern ears. Where are we? Well, not too many options here. It can only be the Outer Banks Islands.
No, I didn't know it was that strong in North Carolina. I spent most of my time in southern North Carolina in the US, and North Carolina. Always surprising me that is already the South, and the Outer Banks I haven't been to.
A bunch of these here with names like Ocracoke and... I hope I'm saying that right, but I'm not done. If you have the muscle to canoe 187 miles north, there's another East Coast island accent that'll have you shaking your heads and throwing your hands in the air.
So I had to get out home. Mom's been calling and cussing at me all day. She was behind the counter. She said, it's a Lally Jack. I said, who's that, Mom?
This street here, this will go underwater. These yards will go under during storms.
Oh, don't look at me just because I'm British. No clue, none whatsoever.
This was a lot of fun. I kind of like this accent thing, and this is all in like good intentions, you know. I feel like we can poke fun at accents, but everybody has an accent. There's so many different accents, so nobody should be like ridiculed for the accent. But it's super interesting to see in America. It's so big, they have so many different accents. I don't know, I'm really curious. I want to go further west and experience more of that. I'm surprised the Georgian guy, but I think it's also per state, you know, the more rural to go, you know, the crazier the accents sometimes get. But that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.